Good evening, everyone. I wasn't planning on coming back on, but I wanted to show you how my butter turned out that I made earlier today. Hi, Carrie. Good to see you. You have to stir it and let it sit in the refrigerator and then stir it again, but by the time I was ready to stir it again, it had already set up, which it had done the first time. This is what the plant-based butter looks like, and you can spread it. You can spread it. It's very easy to spread. It tastes very good, and it only has 5 ingredients in it. And I made everything in my food processor. What you do is you take a cup of coconut oil and you melt the coconut oil. Hi, good to see you. Welcome. You melt your coconut oil. I put that in the food processor with 2/3 cup of virgin olive oil, organic virgin olive oil, and then I put in 3 tablespoons of the soy lecithin. And if people don't know what that is, I can show you what that is. This is the soy lecithin that I used. It takes 3 tablespoons. Then you take 3/4 cup of hot water, and you mix your 1 teaspoon of Himalayan pink salt in that water. And then what you do after it's mixed, you mix your other ingredients first. Your coconut oil, your olive oil, and your soy lecithin. You put them in the food processor. You mix it up. Oh, it is really good. And you mix it up. It's supposed to be timed, but I didn't time it. You're supposed to do the coconut oil, the olive oil, and the soy lecithin for 30 seconds, and then you mix your hot water with the Himalayan pink salt for 20 seconds. I didn't time it. I just mixed it until I felt it was mixed good enough. And then I had taken my real hot water, and I had mixed the Himalayan pink salt into it, because it only takes a teaspoon. Mix it into it, and then I slowly poured it into the top of my food processor, and it came out real nice. It's easier to clean the food processor than it is my Vitamix. I've made this butter before in the Vitamix, and it is very, very difficult to get the butter out because it sits underneath the blades. Here with the food processor, you just take the blade off, and it's real easy to wash it out. Just wash this bowl here into the soapy water, and it's real easy to clean it. But this is how it looks, and it's very spreadable. I put it on my toast every morning. I put it on with peanut butter. It is very, very good. It's a plant-based spread, and I am really glad that it. Hi, Crystal. Good to see you. That it spreads like it does, because I'm not going to take get into it right now because I want to take a picture for Facebook and post it up there on Facebook. And good to see you. This is my plant-based butter that I made earlier today. You have to let it set up. It only takes a couple hours to set up, but it's spreadable. You can spread it on your bread. It doesn't tear your bread. It's a very good flavor. It's actually, I've made this about 3 different times now, and it's a butter that I'm going to keep using. And once you make this butter, you'll never want to buy butter again. You won't need to buy butter again, because this will eliminate all the butter that you ever use. You can use this butter on noodles. You can use it on potatoes, baked potato, or mashed potatoes, or whatever you want to use it on. And you just keep this stuff on hand. Coconut oil and olive oil, you always have. This I had to buy. I bought this, I think, through Amazon. I bought the bigger container of it so I could use yes, I can. I can show you. But I can show you. It does spread real easily. I'll just take it off from the side. See that? See the consistency of it? Isn't that nice? And you can spread it on bread. That makes it very good. Try to put it back on here. You spread it on bread, and it's very, very good. Yes, it's like I said. It's 5 ingredients, and it's a simple recipe. The very first time I saw this vegan butter made, I saw Julie Grant, Jamal's wife, make it. but it was made a little bit differently. It had a few more ingredients to it. It had more it had the same amount of cooking oil, but it had a lot of olive oil, and it had a lot of soy lecithin, and used a lot more water. It was a little more oily. And when I saw this one, it's a lot less oily. It is absolutely delicious. Tastes like real butter. I love it on my toast every morning. And you know something? You put it on your bread, your hot bread, it melts. It melts into your bread. You know, if you just put like in a butter toast or whatever, it melts right in, just like your regular butter. So it's that's what I say. I like this consistency because it's real good. It melts very easily. It only took about 2 hours to set up. You're not really supposed to use it until the morning, but I just wanted to show you what it looks like. Oh, you're learning to make bread? Well, you know you've got it made. Once you make the bread and then you go and make this butter, yes, it will be, because you're going to love the butter. You make your own home, which I don't make my own homemade bread, but I'm going to start. Make your own homemade bread and butter. You'll absolutely have it made. It's absolutely fantastic. You know, because I've tried to buy organic bread, and I eat a lot of toast in the mornings, things like that, but I love this butter. And it has no preservatives in it, and it's supposed to last about a week or two, but I actually had mine longer than that, and it was still good because I kept it in the airtight container, and I used it every day. Your children love bread? Yeah, I do too, probably only too well. I eat probably a lot more of it than I really should. But it is so, so good. And I just can't believe that how simple this was to make. And I had to kind of look at the recipe one more time before I made it to make sure I got the right amount of ingredients, because I didn't want to use too much of one thing and not enough of the other. So I thought it was a third cup of the olive oil, and it's 2/3 cup. You're very welcome. And like I said, I'll post this up on my Facebook page along with the recipe. It's very, very simple to make. You can use your blender, food processor, whatever you have. I thought I would, like I said, I made it before in the Vitamix. It makes up fine, but it makes the Vitamix a mess and hard to clean out. So I used my food processor today. No problem. It's a lot easier to clean because you can remove the blade and then just wash your bowl in hot soapy water. It came out beautifully. So I'm going to make this over and over and over. Saves buying the butter in the store, because with this butter, I know what's in it. I don't have to guess. Oh, you know something? They'll have so much fun making it. They'll want to make it. Yes, you get them involved with making something like this. I am one of these kind that I like things simple. The simpler, the better. And a lot less ingredients, the better. Because I don't like to take a lot of time into the kitchen making anything. So if I can make this in just a short period of time, which just only took me just a few minutes to make this morning, or early this afternoon is actually what I did. I made it after I had my lunch. And it only took a short period of time. I was going to tell you that the pumpkin cookies that I had made, my last scope, I had forgot one critical ingredient, and that's why they look like they did. So I'm not going to post it up on YouTube. I'm not going to post it up on Facebook until I remake them and make them properly. I had forgot the oats. It has oats in it. But my copy, when I printed it out, didn't have the oats on there. And I knew there had to be something missing, so I went back and watched that video again, and I says, oh, no, I forgot the oats. So that made a difference in the way it looked. But they're still good, but I'm going to have to make them again and then post it up to Facebook when I get it made right, because I don't want I don't want to post it up on YouTube the way they look, because then, yeah, it's easy to do that, you know. It's easy to make mistakes. You know, we all make mistakes. But at least I know what I did wrong. I know what I need to do. And I have to go to the store tomorrow anyway to get a few ingredients. So I might as well just pick some more oatmeal up, because I don't have enough to make another batch. But there is one thing I want to make tomorrow that I just found the recipe for this week. And that is for chocolate mousse pie, which using a springform pan. I definitely want to make that, because that looks like it's simple to make. And I want to make it, and I know I'm gonna yeah, well, I didn't do it on purpose, but it happens. You know, it really happens that everybody makes mistakes. I've done that before. Or I've made something and forgot an ingredient. But I didn't realize that that was a crucial ingredient. You need to have that in there. I don't go to church on Thursdays. This is only Thursday. I don't go to church today. I go to church on Saturdays. Well, that's a silly question. Anyway, I made that mistake, and I was embarrassed about it afterwards, and I thought, oh no. That isn't part of my Periscope. I'm not going to answer that now because this is a food scope. It's not a Christian scope. You just have to pray for it. That's all you can do. That's all I'm going to tell you to do is just pray for it. But I don't want to talk about that right now because this is a food scope, and this is what it has to pertain to, food. But anyway, when you make your own food, you know what's in it because it's got the ingredients that you've got in your cupboard. You don't have to guess what's in it because the stuff that you find in the store, like you look at a package of butter that you buy in the store. How many ingredients does that have in it? A lot more than 5. Too many ingredients. It has way too many ingredients in it, and they're not good for you. They're preservatives. They put a lot of chemicals in it, and we know that chemicals are not good for our bodies at all, and we need to stay away from those. So if you can make your own, that's the best thing to do is make your, because a lot of the foods nowadays, and I've noticed it too, have high fructose corn syrup. And I don't understand why they do that, but I will not buy anything that has a lot of high fructose corn syrup. That's not good for you. You shouldn't be putting that in your body like that. A lot of the breads have it, but they're beginning to get a little bit wiser on the breads now. That's right. If you can't pronounce it, don't put it in your body. You're absolutely right. That's the way I feel too. Don't put it in your body because, you don't know what that chemical really is. And it takes me a long time to pronounce some of those. I mean, they have a lot of letters in those silly ingredients. And I look at that chemical and I say, what in the world is that chemical? Where did it come from? What does that chemical have in it? What is it? You don't know because they don't tell you. But the manufacturers put a lot of chemicals in it to preserve it. But they're not chemicals that we should be putting in our body. But they don't care because they're trying to sell. That's their bottom line, is being able to sell their products. So they're going to put those in there, hoping that people aren't going to look at the ingredients on the packaging. And unfortunately, a lot of people don't. They won't read the ingredients. They'll go and pick something up and put it in their cart without even looking to see what it has in it. I look at the ingredients on everything I buy because I don't want ingredients in there that I can't pronounce. And when I see something that has a lot of ingredients, I put it back. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, absolutely big words. 10, 12 letters in the ingredient or whatever. One ingredient that I do know about that Philip the Overcomer had given a Periscope quite a while ago on carrageenan. And I had bought some vegan cheese that had that carrageenan in it. And I didn't know it was bad for me until he had done his Periscope. And then I looked at that vegan cheese and I saw it had carrageenan in it. And I says, oh no, I can't eat this anymore. So I don't buy it. So everything that I buy, I look to make sure it doesn't have carrageenan in it. Some things do, some things don't. If it's got carrageenan in it, leave it on the shelf because it's not very good. It's a chemical you should not have in your body. How it reacts to your body, I'm not sure exactly. You'd have to do some research on it. But I know he did a scope on it and said it's absolutely terrible. So we have to be sure we don't get anything with carrageenan in it. It's really troublesome to see those kind of ingredients and stuff like that. I hate the fact that I buy stuff that I thought was good for me and tasted good. Hi, good to see you. Welcome. I thought it tasted good, and then lo and behold, it has ingredients in it that I shouldn't be putting in my body. It's got chemicals in it that are going to harm me. And like I said, do the manufacturers care that they put chemicals in that'll harm us? They don't care. Like I said, their bottom line is to sell the product, and they're going to put anything in it they can to sell it. They make the packaging look good. Fancy packaging, colorful packaging, but it's not what's on the outside that counts. It's what's on the inside. But yet people will only look at the outside of the package and think, oh, this looks nice, I'm going to get this, without even realizing, well, what does it have in it? We have to be diligent and look at the ingredients every time you pick something up off the shelf. See how many ingredients it has in it. 3 or 4 up to 5 I think is fine, but if you start getting way too many, forget it. You know, I've put a lot of things back because it had so many ingredients in it that it was a real long list about like this, and I thought, I'm going to stand here all this time and look at these ingredients. This person, I'm going to have to block this person. That's stupid. That person's gone. But you got to be diligent and look at your food source, where it came from, you know, the manufacturer, and look at the ingredients and make sure that you know what you're putting into your body. That's why it's very important that to get something that's simple and and to do it yourself. Make it yourself. When you make it yourself, you know what you have, and you know it's not going to be harmful to you. That's why I'm always making sure that I don't get something that I can't have and put in my body. You know, and I wish I had learned this a long time ago. You know, I would buy stuff at the grocery store and put it in my cart without even realizing what I was putting in my cart, and I'd get home and eat it, and I didn't realize what I was putting in my body. I didn't realize I was harming my body like I was. That's right. They are a temple. They're the temple of God. And God says we destroy our temple, He's going to destroy us. So we have to be very, very careful that we don't destroy this temple that God gave us. You know, keep it safe and don't put stuff in it. Welcome to Periscope for the very first time. And don't put things into it that are harmful. There are so many things out there. All your processed foods, basically, when you look at your processed foods, they're the ones that are really, really bad. They're the ones that have all the chemicals in them. I try not to buy that many processed foods. You're not going to get away from them entirely. But the less they have in it, the less ingredients they have in it, the better. You know, so when I watch Periscope from Alexis Can Do, that she makes her own stuff. A lot of stuff she follows the recipe. A lot of stuff she makes her own concoction. Yes, it does. You know, I've noticed that everything I put in my body that wasn't good for me, it did affect the way I thought. But now that I put things in my body that are not harmful to me, my thought processes are much better. I've got clearer thinking. You're so right. We don't want to fog our minds up by putting stuff in there that's harmful. Oh, probably anxiety and depression, you know, and I think that's why that anxiety and depression is so rampant nowadays, because people are putting things in their bodies that they shouldn't be. Oh, yes, and you know, that's right. People are addicted to the foods they eat. You know, we should take control of the food, but unfortunately, a lot of the foods take control of us. They take control of our bodies, and we just think that we can't live without them. A lot of people, they see stuff in the store, and they just got to have it without realizing the results of them buying that and putting it into their body, what it's going to do to them. Maybe not on the short term, but in the long term, what it's going to do to them. They keep eating it long enough, they're going to cause a lot of harm to their body. But they don't think about that because they like to eat things that they're so used to eating that they've been putting into their bodies for years and years and years. Hi, good to see you again. That they've been putting into their bodies for years and years and years. And, well, it's an embarrassment. I'll tell you, I got to looking at the recipe on the YouTube because I knew where the recipe was. I looked at the recipe. I thought, well, did I miss something? I sure did. I didn't put the oats in it. You're supposed to have a cup of cooked oats or quick oats and a cup of rolled oats, or you can have 2 cups of one or the other. And I didn't put the oats in it. That's why they looked like they did. And I knew there had to be something I was missing. My copy that I printed out did not. No, it wasn't that. It tasted okay. It's just that they started falling apart because I didn't have the oats in them. You know, they were tasted fine. But I wasn't going to post it up on YouTube, and I wasn't going to post it on Facebook as a recipe because I have to redo it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to redo it, and I'm going to, that was another thing. My mousse yesterday was a flop. If for some unknown reason, my aquafaba just did not whip up like it should have. I don't know what I had done wrong, but it didn't whip up. So I'm going to have to redo some of these things. Hi, Erlene. So I'm going to have to redo the mousse, and I'm going to have to redo the cookies I made today. But I probably won't scope those. I'll just redo them and put them up on Facebook, because it's a total embarrassment to have them turn out like that. I'll just show you my vegan butter. There's my vegan butter, Erlene. Yeah, surprise, there's my vegan butter. I wanted to show my vegan butter that I made because it came out really good. Didn't have to stir it. By the time I went to stir it, after 2 hours, it was already set up, and I thought, yeah, I know, and it tastes so good too. Somebody wanted me to show them how it looks on a knife, so I thought, well, I'll just take a little bit off the side and show them that it does have that it's smooth and it melts. Yeah, and I didn't time mine either, but it still looks good, you know. And this is going to last me a while because I can put it in noodles or whatever, you know, and a lot of toast. This really is very good butter. It's a recipe worth keeping. Okay, good. Allrecipes.com. I'm going to check that out. Thank you. Oh, yes, if somebody wants to know what my Facebook page is, Karen's Vegan Heaven. You got it right. Thank you for posting that. Because, you know, I'm one of these kind of, Nerlene's another one, where she finds a recipe that she likes, that she's made, and it turns out good, so she'll remake it. Like her cheese sauce recipe is a very good recipe, and I've made it before too. When you find something that you like, and it turns out good, you're going to remake it. This butter is one that I'm going to make over and over and over again. And it saves buying butter in the store that have all the chemicals in it. I mean, 5 ingredients in this butter, if you want to count water as an ingredient. You know, it's a liquid, but you got the rest of the ingredients in there. And it's not harmful at all. And I used organic olive oil. I used organic coconut oil. It's a solid right now, and I had to get it out and measure it, and then I put it in a glass container and just melted it in the microwave in my glass container. Real quick. Just takes a cup of that, 2/3 of the organic olive oil, and 3 tablespoons of this, 3/4 cup of hot water with a teaspoon of Himalayan pink salt. You mix it into the hot water, and it's just simple as can be. Oh, good. Thank you for telling me that. I'm always looking for new recipes. I appreciate you posting that up there. I should have known there probably would be one like that, because I'm always looking for something. I go on YouTube, and there's an endless amount of them on YouTube, and that's where Erlene's finding hers too. But she's finding recipes that I wouldn't even thought to look for, you know. And she's posted a lot of good recipes on my Facebook page too. So when you find a recipe that you like, you stick with it. You continue to do it over and over and over again. Like I said, this butter is going to replace the butter that you buy in the store. You'll be able to keep making it over and over, and you'll have butter, when it gets low, then you make it again. I used my other butter up today. I don't know how long I had it, but I had it for a little bit, and I just used it up today, and I thought, well, I better make me some more. So I made me some more. Now I have been using the Smart Balance. I use that sometimes, kind of alternate. But really, in essence, I wouldn't have to buy any more butter. Just use this, and I've got it made. Your peach cobbler. Wow. That sounds so good. Peach cobbler really sounds good. Great. I'm always looking for something that's easy to use. And thank you for telling me that. I'm posting that in here because it gives me something to find recipes on, because I'm always wanting to find vegan recipes, you know. And of course, if they're not vegan, then I can tweak them and make them vegan. That's what you easily do. That's what I like about making my own things with recipes, because I can take that recipe and I can tweak it any way I like to suit me, because not everything that's on those recipes is what we can have. No. Oh, no. I still use it. I use it mostly every day because I make a lot of smoothies in it. I make soups and stuff. No, I have never stopped using that. It's just that this butter was easier to do in the food processor over the Vitamix because the Vitamix with the blades at the bottom, the blades are stationary. It's real hard to get the butter out underneath those blades. Whereas with the food processor, the blade comes off, and I just take the bowl and put it all into the water and wash it. But as far as my Vitamix, yes, I still use it. I make a lot of tomato soup in it, which I did the other day when I was on the cool side. I make smoothies mostly every morning. I'll probably have a smoothie again tomorrow. So yes, I do use it. And I make ice cream in it. So I got it for that reason. But I don't want to put everything in it. Something like this is much simpler to do into a yeah, I do too. I love my Vitamix a lot. But there's just some things that are a lot easier to make in the food processor. That's why I have this food processor, because it's easy to use with the blade coming off, and I can make a lot of things in it, I've even made peanut butter in my food processor. I find it a little bit easier than the Vitamix, although the Vitamix does a good job too. But most generally I buy my own because I buy natural. But it's really better to make your own foods because you know what you have in them. And they're going to be taste good. And you can take the recipe, like I said, if it's not vegan, you can make it vegan. Add something to it that makes it vegan. Or leave something out that you don't like. Hi, good to see you. Welcome. Thank you for coming in. If there's an ingredient like the pumpkin cookies had supposed to have cinnamon. Well, we don't use cinnamon, so you can put nutmeg in it or coriander. You can put both really. Oh, you make peanut butter? Yeah, I have made peanut butter on the Vitamix already. I do have done it already, but being that I don't have the dry container, I prefer not to make it in there because it's going to scratch it all up. And I'm trying to keep, as you can see, this container, I keep it nice. I clean it up and everything, and I don't let it get foggy, and I don't, because it has a tendency to scratch it, because there is one for the dry ingredients, and I'd rather just use that for the nuts and stuff, and until I get one like that, I probably just buy my own, because it will mess because I know Erlene's other one she said it kind of messed the container up a little bit. It really scratched it up, and I don't like it when it scratches it up like that. But you see a lot of people, they have their Vitamix, and they don't clean it out. They don't use a microfiber. Now, the trick with this is, to keep it shiny, is use a microfiber towel to dry it out, inside and out. Yeah, that's what I figured. Hi, good to see you. Take a microfiber towel and do not air dry your container. It's best to use a microfiber towel to dry it inside and out. Because I've seen people that don't dry it, they let it air dry, and it gets cloudy on the inside. Yes, it does, because I take the time and I use a microfiber towel, a special towel. This here is a microfiber towel. I can use this and shine it up on the inside, then dry it off on the outside too. Don't let it air dry. People let it air dry, and then it gets cloudy, and it looks like it's 10, 15 years old. It looks really bad because they've let it air dry. I don't do that. Keep it looking nice. Oh, you're welcome. Because you're going to find that if you air dry it, you're going to get it cloudy in it. But if you use the microfiber towel like I have, it's always going to look shiny. It's going to look brand new. Oh, okay. Okay. All right. I appreciate that. But try to make your own foods as much as you can. Don't buy something processed in the store unless you know what's in it. And like I said, those processed foods have so many ingredients in it that makes you wonder where those ingredients came from. And if you can't pronounce it, don't put it in your body. That's what I say. And I don't put it in my body either because I can't pronounce half the stuff that's out there. It's horrible. I have a hard enough time trying to pronounce the carrageenan, without some of these other things in there. And monosodium glutamate, you got the MSG, and you got your high fructose, and, and there's been a lot of people that have condemned agave nectar, saying that it has it has high fructose corn syrup in it. But my agave nectar, all it has is 100% organic agave. It does not have anything else in it because it comes from the plant. So I still use agave nectar. I know there's a question of some people still use it. I use vanilla as well. I use maple syrup too. I also use honey. So there are as many different ways that you things that you can replace. If you don't want to use agave nectar, you can use maple syrup, or you can use vanilla, which I use a non-alcoholic, or you can use honey, which they say if you use honey you're not a vegan, but that's neither here nor there. I still use honey. I use it sparingly though. As I say, everything in moderation. But don't be afraid to use something because you think it's bad for you. Just look at the bottle. Get organic. I've got the blue raw agave, and all it has is just 100% organic agave in it. That's all it has in it. Oh, Harry's a full-time cook. Oh, wow, that's pretty good. Well, let me tell you, I make plenty of mistakes that I embarrass myself after I get done. And here I scoped those cookies, and then they turned out like they did, and I got to thinking, well, they don't look right at all according to the picture. And then when I realized I had forgotten the oats, I knew that's why they didn't. You know, thought, well, I'm not going to post it on up on Facebook, and I'm not going to post it up on YouTube. I just deleted the video off my camera roll. I didn't delete it off of Periscope. I might later, but you know, it was an embarrassment. But I'll make them again and then repost it. It'll look better that way. But this butter, I'll tell you one thing. It turned out perfect the first time. It does. It turns out perfect every time. No, I'm not. I'm not afraid to try a new recipe. And I'm not afraid to make mistakes either. Because I know that mistakes are going to happen. But you know something? I just keep at it. I don't give up. You know, those cookies, those pumpkin cookies didn't turn out right the first time. Neither did that mousse. I'm going to give it another try. I'm not going to stop because I'm not a quitter. I want to get it right. And that's what they say. Try again. You know, if you don't get it right the first time or the second time, they say the third time's a charm. You just keep going at it until you can make it. As I understand it, yes, I do have coconut palm sugar. Yes, I do. I have some in a container. Yes, I have used it. I love it. But I was going to say, the guy that invented the Kentucky Fried Chicken, as I understand it, he got turned down after turn down after turn down before he was even, before he got where he was. You know, he had made a lot of mistakes too, but he had gotten turned down so much, you know, people just didn't want to have anything to do with him. And that's the way it is. You're going to make mistakes, but you can't. But he never gave up. And look on what happened to him. How much money he made. His restaurants are still going gangbusters. You know, of course we know he's dead now, but his restaurants are still open and everything. You know, so you cannot. You just can't give up. You've got to keep going, pressing on. You know, because you know that you'll eventually get it right. You know, I mean, I know I make mistakes. I mean, I wish I didn't, but I learn from my mistakes. Now that I know what I did wrong on those pumpkin cookies, I'll get them right. I'll put the oats in there and everything else, and I'll have it right this next time. It's just that way. Date sugar is, you know, I've never had date sugar. I don't know even where you get it. I've never had it. I don't know where the first thing about finding it. Oh, you know, I can do some research on it and find out myself. Yeah, there's a lot of things in it, but I do have coconut palm sugar. Plus, I also have cane sugar as well, organic cane sugar. I use that. Now, when in my recipes call for sugar, do not use refined sugar. I use the cane sugar or the coconut palm sugar, either one. Whichever one I grab first, that's what I use. Because they'll make it taste just as good. And they're better for you than the refined sugar. Maple sugar, when I've never had that one either. You know, I'll have to try that. There's so many out there to try that I've never had. Hi, Marilyn. Here's my plant-based butter. It only has 5 ingredients in it. A cup of coconut oil, 2/3 cup of olive oil, 3 tablespoons of your soy lecithin, which I got it all at Amazon, 3/4 cup of hot water, and you put Himalayan sea salt in that and pink salt and mix that in there. You mix all your other ingredients, the coconut oil, the olive oil, and the lecithin, and I put them in my food processor. You mix that up real good first, and then you slowly add the hot water with the Himalayan pink salt. You stir the Himalayan pink salt into the hot water. I made my water real hot, and then I stirred it in there real slow. And you're supposed to stir it when you put it in here, and I stirred it once, and then you put it in the refrigerator, and after 2 hours, then you leave the lid off, and after 2 hours, then you're supposed to stir it again. Well, by the time I went to stir it again, it already set up. So it's a real good recipe. It sets up quite fast, but I won't use it until tomorrow. I'll put it on my toast. But I did put some on a knife to show you that it does. It spreads very well. It doesn't get your bread holes in it either. It really spreads very well. And like I said, you put it on toast, and it melts into the toast. That's how good this butter really is. It's a butter that you can make over and over and over again with just a few ingredients. 5 ingredients. You can't go wrong. It's that good for you, and you know what's in it. And I'm going to intend to make this over and over again. I think this is about the second time I've made it or third time I've made it. I'm not sure exactly, but it is. It's very healthy. And it tastes good, Marilyn. It really does. It tastes just like butter without having all the ingredients in it that your butter has in the store. And this lasts a long time, too, especially for myself since I live alone. I put it on toast. You can put it on noodles. You can put it on vegetables, melted over vegetables. Anything that you want to put it on, you can put it on there. And you don't have to worry about the flavor being overpowering, because it's not. It's very mild. It tastes just like butter in the store. It tastes actually better than the butter in the store. Erlene can attest to that. She's made hers again 2 or 3 times, and it's a very good butter. I recommend it, and I'm going to post this up on my Facebook page. Now, my group page, it's already up there on the Facebook group because Erlene posted it here when she made it the last time, so I won't post it there. But my own page, my personal page, I'll post it there, plus a couple of other, Alexis's page, Candu's page, and Leslie's page, and Vegans with Love. It's going wonderful, and welcome, and thank you for coming in. This is my vegan butter, or plant-based butter, if you want to call it that. It's very good. 5 ingredients. Very simple. I made it in my food processor. Yes, it is. It most definitely is. Nice to see you, too, and I thank you for everybody coming in. Yes, I am. I am vegan. I wasn't for the longest time, but I've been a vegan now over a year. And I've lost over 60 pounds. And I looked at my picture from other periscopes I've done, and I looked at those periscopes of how I am now. Why did I switch? Because it's healthier. Because you shouldn't be eating meat. Meat is not good for you to eat anyway. It's not meant for us to eat it. And if you get off of dairy, you get off of cheese and all that, it's a lot better for you. Go vegan, It took a little time, but I finally made it, and I'm not upset about getting off meat because I don't even crave it anymore. I don't crave it at all. Yes, but you can get that from your fruits and vegetables, though. There's a lot of proteins in your fruits and vegetables. People think there is not, but there is. There's a lot of... Actually, in essence, when you think about it, that's what God gave us in the Garden of Eden. He gave us the fruits and vegetables. That's what we're supposed to be eating, not the animals. He never gave us the animals to eat. You say you do, you think you do, but you really don't. You don't need to eat it. Yes, and beans. You can get it in beans and legumes and things like that. That's right. That's right. Vegetables have more protein than meat, and they're better for you. You say you need meat every day, all the time. You just think you do. You really don't. You don't need it at all. Once you do away with it, you'll find your health is much better. You're going to sleep better. You're going to feel better. You're going to have more energy, and you're going to lose weight, and you're going to look better all over. You don't know how you'd survive without it? I felt the same way. But look at me. It's been over a year since I've been on this plant-based diet, and I'm still here. And I am doing great. And I don't crave it at all. I walk right away from the meat. I don't even give it a second look. I just walk right away from it. I try to make as many foods on my own from recipes as I can to avoid all that. Casserole dishes. You can make a lot of things to eat. You're addicted. Well, that's another thing that's bad for you. Sugar is not good for you when you think about it. It's very unhealthy. You try to have to adjust it and say you're not going to eat it so much. Everything is in moderation. But it's like I said, when God created the animals, He didn't create us for us to eat those. He didn't make them for us to eat them at all. We're not really supposed to eat them. And when you think about it, the animals have feelings too, and they should be allowed to survive and live just like we do. I did for a while, yes, but I finally gave them up. Chocolate especially. I do eat potato chips once in a while, but I did give chocolate up, definitely. I eat carob now, which is a vegan plant. I don't know exactly what country it's from, but it comes from a plant, and it's actually better for you than your cocoa, because your Hershey's cocoa does not have any sugar in it, but carob does. And it's very, very good. I've made it a while back. It's been quite a while now. I made a peanut butter carob pie that's should be up on Periscope yet. I never deleted any of my Periscopes. Should still be there. So go look for it. You'll see how I made that. That is to die for. It is so good. Yes, caffeine free. That's the biggest thing. You don't want caffeine. Caffeine is a stimulant. You don't want to put stimulants in your body. Stay away from caffeine. Well, you just ask Him to help you. You really ask Him to help you, and He will. I went off of meat the first thing. I went off of it cold turkey, and then the cheese and stuff came last. Let me get some water. Because when it comes to cheese and stuff, I love cheese. No caffeine, that's right. No caffeine in carob. Yeah. You have to ask the Lord to help you. He will direct your path. But I realized when I was watching my replays on my Periscopes, and I saw how I looked, and I did not like the way I looked. I says, oh my goodness, I'm fat. I've got a fat face. I don't look good. I've got to do something about it. So I started just doing away with everything that's harmful to my body. I did meat first. Then I got rid of the milk and the cheese and the eggs. I don't eat any of that. And just ask Him to help to take the cravings away that you have for meat. Ask Him to take that away from you, and He will. He'll take those cravings away. I don't have the cravings for it anymore. I want no part of it. I find I'm better off. There are recipes out there when you look at making your own food. There's recipes that you can make burgers. You can make it with tofu, which I have a recipe for tofu burgers. You can make them out of black beans. You can make them out of chickpeas, sunflower seeds, anything that you can name. You can make your burgers, and they're actually better than what you buy in the store. They're healthier for you, and you'll enjoy them much, much more. When I'm hungry for a burger, I just make my own. I just find my recipe that I have for the tofu burgers, and I make them. Or if I want another burger to eat, I'll go find a recipe. Yeah, see, you're tired all the time, probably because of your diet. Your diet can influence your thought processes and your energy level. Your energy level will be way down if you eat a lot of meat. You start doing away with it and eat better, you're going to have a better energy level. Your sleep patterns are going to be better. I know mine are. I sleep like a baby at night and wake up the next morning and I can't realize it's morning already because I didn't, I just fell asleep and it's real easy for me to fall asleep watching Netflix or watching a religious video or something like that. I'll fall asleep and then I'll wonder what happened. It's real easy to do that because I take my iPad to bed and I start watching things and then I fall asleep. But that shows my sleeping patterns are really good. I fall asleep easily, but I wake up easily too. But then I just went back. Well, see, you got rid of it for 6 months. It would have been better if you stayed off of it. Well, the thing of it is, when I started doing away with my meat and things like that, it was a little hard at first because I was so used to eating my meat. I would eat a lot of cold meat sandwiches and stuff like that. But I don't do that now. I'll find every other kind of meat to eat. And I will make me grilled cheese sandwiches. But they are vegan cheeses. Chow cheese I have that I buy now but you can probably get it at Kroger's. I think Arlene says she's got her at Kroger's. It's a Greek cheese. It's very, very good. It's quite expensive, though. I think you about 10 slices for $5.98. It's a very expensive cheese, but it's really, really good, and it's better for you. It doesn't have things in it that'll harm you. Oh, you eat a lot of chips again? Yeah, I know Walmart has it too. See, that's the thing. You went cold turkey, but then you got off of it and went back to your old eating habits. That's something I don't want to do. You know, I don't want to go back to my old eating habits because I don't want to go back to the way I looked before. Because if you could see my old periscopes, the way I looked before to the way I look now, it's a lot different. You know, I look so much better now. My face is thinner because I had a fat face. When I looked at my picture from the church directory, because I've got the church directory app on my phone, and when I looked at my picture the other day, I says, "Oh Lord, have mercy! I was fat that time when they took my picture." Just have to ask the Lord to help you, and just tell yourself you can do it. It takes a lot of willpower. Just all of a sudden, just get away from it. You know, ask the Lord to help you. And He will, and just walk away from it. Hi, Janet. Good to see you. Here's my plant-based butter. It's only 5 ingredients in it, if you want to consider water an ingredient, hot water. But it sets up within 2 hours. Somebody wanted me to show them how smooth it is, and I put it on a knife to show that it spreads very easily. You can, but take it very, very slow. Just do a little bit at a time. Hi, Janet. Good to see you. Just do it a little bit at a time. Don't go too fast. Don't go off of everything at once. I didn't. I went off the meat first, and then I slowly got off of the cheese, the eggs, and the milk. You know, the only thing I drink now, you're welcome. And the only thing I drink, what are the ingredients? Okay, I know them by heart. I'll tell you what the ingredients in here are. You have a cup of coconut oil melted, 2/3 cup of organic virgin olive oil, 3 tablespoons of this soy lecithin, a 3/4 cups of hot water with a teaspoon of Himalayan pink salt mixed in, stirred into it. You take your coconut oil, your olive oil, and your soy lecithin, and you can mix those in a food processor, because that's what I did today. Mix them in a food processor, and when you think they're mixed enough, then you slowly add the water with the Himalayan pink salt. Oh, thanks, Janet. Thank you so much. With the Himalayan pink salt, you slowly add that to your butter, and then you take it and you pour it into your container. Now, this is a glass container. Pour it into your container. You stir it after you put it in the container. And then you're really supposed to time it when you mix it, but I didn't time it. But after 2 hours of sitting in the refrigerator, you're supposed to stir it again. Well, as you can see, after 2 hours, it's set up already. So I guess you really don't have to stir it again. And look how nice it looks. Doesn't that look nice? And look, it doesn't come out or anything. And it spreads. It melts. Look how it is on the knife. Isn't that nice? Oh, you tried to get... I got mine from Amazon. This is a 2-pound can. You can get about anything you want. Just type in soy lecithin from Amazon. You should, and you'll be able to get it because they had it. And this is non-GMO. It's real simple. Of course, you could probably use sunflower lecithin if they have any other lecithin. If you're, some people are allergic to soy. You don't have to use it, but this is what they asked for, so that's what I use. Thank you. And I'm really happy with this recipe. This is a recipe that you can make over and over and over again. And just think, you make your own butter, you don't have to go buy it in the store. Because you look at the ingredients in those butters in the store, they have so many ingredients in them that you don't know what half of them are. Now, the only butter that I've been buying lately, when I was buying butter, was Smart Balance. I get the organic Smart Balance. That doesn't have too many ingredients in it, and it's pretty good. So I do use that. And I still have some of that in the refrigerator. But once that's used up, and I can use this, I won't ever have to buy butter again. Because like I said, you can put this on noodles. You can put it on veggies. You can put it on anything that you want to melt butter onto, and it'll be absolutely delicious. Okay, all right, and thank you for coming in, and have a good night. But anything that you want to melt butter on, I would melt it on. Hi, good to see you. Very welcome. Hi, Sandra. Welcome. Here's my vegan plant-based butter. 5 ingredients, and I'll give you the ingredients. 1 cup of organic coconut oil melted, 2/3 cup of virgin olive oil, 3 tablespoons of soy lecithin, which you can get at Amazon, 3/4 cup of water with a teaspoon of Himalayan pink salt stirred into the water. You take your first 3 ingredients, your coconut oil, your olive oil, and your soy lecithin. You put them in your food processor, your blender, whatever you want to use. I use my food processor, and mix them. And then slowly take your 3/4 cups of water with your Himalayan pink salt, pour that in, and it mixes it all together. And when you shut it off, you pour it in your container and stir it in. And after 2 hours, it'll be set up just like this is. And you can see that on the knife how smooth it is. It melts as well. It spreads on your bread. It does not tear your bread up or anything. Oh, good. You'll love it. You'll love it. Like I said, I'm going to post it on my Facebook page today, and I'm going to also post this up on YouTube as well, because it's a butter recipe that it's very simple, and most of the ingredients you would have. Now, not everybody's going to carry this, because I never had it before either, and I had to check with Amazon to see if they had it. So once I knew they had it, that's why I bought this big container. It's 2 pounds, because it'll last a long time, and I won't have to buy it for a while, you know. But that's the way to go. Get it at Amazon, buy what you need. And a lot of the stuff that I have, like my carob chips, the carob powder and all that, I bought at Amazon. Now my olive oil and stuff I buy at Walmart. I buy all that organic olive oil, and my organic coconut oil, I buy that at Walmart too, because that's, I get all that stuff there. So, but this is about the only thing that you're going to have to search for to get. Whole Foods may have it, I don't know. But I would go through Amazon if you're see, I'm an Amazon Prime member, so I can get it real easily. But it's simple. 5 ingredients. No, and hi, Mama Mosa, good to see you. God bless you. Well, it lasts me a little while, but I use it every day on toast. If you start putting it on veggies, or you put it on noodles, or you put it on different things, lasagna or whatever you want to put it on, it's probably not going to last long. And if you have a family, they're probably, kids, and they eat toast and stuff, it'll get used up quite fast. But I keep it in an airtight, I keep it in a container, keep the lid on it. Oh, yes, you too. I keep the lid on it at all times. It's in the refrigerator, and I use it every day. And what I had this morning was still as good as it was when I first made it. I just used it up this morning, and I thought, well, I have to make me more again. So I went and made this afternoon after lunch. And as you can see, it turned out really good. So I'm really pleased with this butter recipe. I like it. I'm going to use it again. I'm going to make it again, and I'm going to keep on making it. Well, I think I'm going to go for now, so I can get the dogs settled in for the night. But I hope that you all have a great night. Oh, it does, doesn't it? No, I'm going to tell you, those are the ones that are in here now. I'm going to come on tomorrow, and hopefully it'll come out good. I'm going to make a chocolate mousse pie. But I have to go get a springform pan. I got the recipe for it today on YouTube, and it looks absolutely delicious. So I intend to try to make that tomorrow. It looks so good. So, so in the meantime, I'm going to call it quits for now. But I hope you all have a great night, a good night's rest. Take care. Oh, well, it's an embarrassment, I'll tell you. You know what I did? I forgot to put oatmeal in it because it takes oats. And I knew that there was something missing, but I didn't know what. The one I had printed out didn't print the complete instructions. So I went and found the website and printed them again. And I thought, oh no, forgot the oatmeal. They taste okay, but they're a little too thin. I knew there had to be something wrong. So so I have to put oatmeal in. Next time I make them, I'll show them on Facebook. I probably won't scope them, but I'll put the recipe on Facebook and on when I get it made. So, but anyway, I'm going to call it quits for now. But I hope you all have a blessed night, And thank you all for coming in, the live viewers as well as the replay viewers. Have a great night. Take care. God bless, and bye-bye. Bye-bye. You too.